Hey, it's story time with Grandma. It's time for the second part of the story I started yesterday, and the name is Ira Says Goodbye. We remember Ira from Ira Sleeps Over and his best friend Reggie. Well, in this story, Reggie is moving away. Ira's not happy about it, but for some reason, Reggie seems to be excited. Let's where we pick up the story and find out why Reggie's excited and thinks it's terrific to move away. Reggie started to explain. Glen Greendale is going to be so great, he said. Great, great, great. My father told me all about it last night. In Greendale, all people do is have fun. Fun, fun, fun. All the time. Listen to this. There's a place in Greendale where they keep this killer shark. Every day, people go to this place to see this killer shark, just so they can get scared. Because the minute this killer shark sees somebody, he starts to snort. Sharks snort, I said. This one snorts, said Reggie, and he makes killer shark faces at everybody because that's what killer sharks love to do best. Make ugly, scary killer shark faces at people. Isn't that great? And do you know what else about Greendale? Reggie said. There's this park with games and thriller rides, and all people do all day in Greendale is play these games and scream their heads off riding these thriller rides and watch fireworks at Saturday nights. Isn't that great? And do you know what else about Greendale? Reggie said. There's this lake with swans and ducks and cute little baby swans and ducks too. And the minute these swans and ducks see you coming, they just scoot right up to you just so you can feed them. Isn't that great? And the people in Greendale are so friendly, said Reggie. All they do all day long is go around smiling, 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 smiling all the time. They just never get tired of smiling. And they give you this big hello no matter how many times you see them. Even if they see you 200 times a day, they'll stop and say hello. Isn't that great? People are friendly, I said. People here are friendly, I said. Some are even best friends. But Reggie just went on talking and talking about Greendale as if he had never heard about best friends. Oh, I almost forgot the most terrific part, said Reggie. The part about my Uncle Steve. He plays football for the Greendale Tigers, and I'll be seeing him every day, and he's going to teach me to kick and pass so that when I grow up, I'll play football for the Greendale Tigers, too. Isn't that great? Reggie looked at me. Isn't that great? He said again. Uh-huh, I said. Day after day, Reggie had new stories to tell about Greendale. He never seemed to want to do any of our old things anymore, like going up to the treehouse or performing our magic act. He even took back his top hat, cape, and wand, which were kept at the secret hiding place. And while he was at it, he took his baseball cards. It was as if Reggie had already moved away. One day, Reggie came by to take back Oscar, his turtle. It was my turn to keep the tank. But Felix and Oscar are friends, I said. They're used to being together. They're only turtles, said Reggie. Turtles have feelings, I said, and nobody can explain to a turtle why its friend isn't with him anymore. Nothing bothers turtles, said Reggie. Turtles are bothered. They're bothered a whole lot, I said. Turtles get lonely. And they get sad, especially if a friend is taken away, and they start to mope. Turtles do not mope, said Reggie. They do so mope, I said. Everybody knows that. And they stop eating, and they get sick, even die. Do you want that to happen, Reggie? They don't die, said Reggie, not from losing a friend. They do too die, I said. Everybody knows that about turtles. Everybody who isn't stupid knows that. I'm taking Oscar, said Reggie. Then take Felix too, I said. Reggie looked at me. Do you mean it, he said. Uh-huh, I said. And that's just what happened. Reggie walked out with Oscar and Felix. Maybe I shouldn't have said that part about being stupid, but sometimes Reggie gets me mad. Sometimes Reggie really gets to me. Like whenever I call Reggie on the phone and I say to him, "What are you doing?" He always says, "Talking to you." Like I didn't know he was talking to me. I can't tell you how many times he's pulled that one. Do you want to know something else about Reggie? When Reggie eats, he always laughs with his mouth full wide open and with all that yucky food showing. I hate that about Reggie. And Reggie doesn't care one bit about friends. He really doesn't. He doesn't care one bit how lonely Felix and Oscar would feel without each other. Do you want to know something? I just hope some new kid moves into Reggie's old house. Some new kid who will be my best friend. Some new kid who won't always be bragging about his uncle football player. Do you want to know something else? I can't wait for Reggie to move. Do you want to know something else? I will jump for joy the day Reggie moves. I didn't have to wait too long. One day, a big van pulled up to Reggie's house. I watched as the men carried everything out of the house. When the house was empty, Reggie and his parents came outside. Reggie was carrying the tank with Felix and Oscar in it. My parents and sister were there too. Everyone hugged and said goodbye. Everyone except Reggie and me. "Aren't you two going to say goodbye?" said Reggie's mother. Suddenly, Reggie burst out crying and couldn't stop. He cried, and no amount of patting seemed to help. "Reggie is taking this move so hard," said his father. At last, when Reggie stopped crying, he handed me the tank. He said, "Here, Ira, you keep them." "You're giving me Felix and Oscar?" I said. "Uh-huh," said Reggie. I was so surprised. I dug into my pocket for my baseball cards and handed Reggie the one I always knew he wanted. "You're giving me your favorite card?" said Reggie. "Uh-huh," I said. This time it was Reggie's turn to be surprised. We all waved goodbye as Reggie and his parents drove away. When their car disappeared, we looked at each other. Everyone was sad. "There's only one thing to do at a time like this," said my mother. "What?" I said. "Let's go into the house and bake a cake." "Excellent," said my father. "What kind of cake?" said my sister. "How about angel food?" said my mother. And that's just what we did. The day Reggie moved, we baked a cake. That night the telephone rang. "It's for you, Ira," said my father. It was Reggie. "What are you doing?" he said. "Talking to you," I said. "Stop fooling," said Reggie. "I'm eating cake," I said. "Listen," said Reggie, "would you like to visit at my house this weekend? My father and I can pick you up." "Oh, would I said. "Will your Uncle Steve be there?" "Uh-huh," said Reggie. "Great," I said. "I can't wait." "Just a minute," said Reggie. "My mother wants to ask your mother if it's all right for you to come." My mother got on the phone. "Say yes," I whispered. Hello. Oh, hello, Ellie. Ellie is Reggie's mother. "How are things?" said my mother. "Say yes," I whispered. My mother said, uh-huh. And then she said some more uh-huhs. And then she said, yes, 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 yes. She kept saying, yes, yes, yes. I kept shaking my head. And then she said, oh, won't that be nice? I knew what she meant by nice. It will be very nice, I whispered. Are you sure it won't be trouble? She said. It won't be trouble. I shook my head. Saturday, my mother looked at me, hugging herself. I know he'll be delighted, she said. My mother hung up. Guess what, she said. I'm invited to Reggie's house, I called out, and I ran upstairs. Ira, where are you rushing to, said my father. Up to pack, I said. But you're not leaving until Saturday, said my mother. You have 2 whole days to pack. I don't want to be late, I said. The end. Well, that was a fun ending. So their friends were going to get together anyway. So I hope you enjoyed the story, and take care. Love you.